I'd like to quickly, go back into the debate. I want to go back by going back at this stage to Kumar Ketkar, and let's go to our guests in Mumbai, Sanjay Jha, Vineet Narayan debate. I personally don't think Kumar Ketkar, the point that Vineet Narayan raised, I have tremendous regard for Vineet Narayan. I look up to some of the work that he has done as a journalist and as a crusader. I'm saying this openly, Vineet Narayan, but I have a slight, Raza ji, I just have a slight disagreement if you say that in response you should black out the Aam Aadmi Party, because you can't black out somebody just because, they don't come on your program, so they disagree with you. I don't think that is the right approach, is it? I mean, I personally don't think so. What do you think, Kumar Ketkar?
Obviously, I mean, nobody can. In fact, if you black out, that will only go on to prove what Kejriwal is saying. Because he will say he is being blacked out because of the corporate pressure. So the question is that I think the debate fully should be there, and there is no harm in accepting that in the media there is black sheep. In fact, Election Commission, Press Council of India, Editors Guild of India, everybody is concerned and is investigating into the paid news affair. But to say that I will come to power and send them to jail, I will not allow this kind of thing to happen, this is a threatening language. And for the same language, we have condemned Sushil Kumar Shinde and we also condemned Modi for the same kind of language. So how can Kejriwal be allowed to say the same things?
We keep spying on the Bhopal activists for Dow Chemical Company.
In fact, I don't know if you remember. I remember the 2nd of January 2014 when Arvind Kejriwal made that speech during the trust vote. We actually praised the way in which he made that speech. We saw the good points of his speech. Yes, when he made the good points of his speech. And I had said in that speech, and I want to quote Vineet Narayan, if I can just quote what I had said. I said that's where Arvind Kejriwal comes in. Perhaps to change the script in the way that the two big parties undermine this election is finally becoming about the people.
Earlier people used to say...
I don't think we need to prove ourselves, but that is exactly what we said at that point of time.
People used to say that Sahara has bought the media.
They have forgotten. Vineet Narayan, yes, I saw you raise your hand there.
No, I want to tell you something very interesting. Couple of years back, there was a first ever public debate organized by a leading English news channel, where on one side was Arvind Kejriwal, Prashant Bhushan, Shanti Bhushan, Anna Hazare. On the other side was me, Tavleen Singh, Chandana Chakraborty and Keshav Rao. And we were told that it's the first ever public debate. But 1,000 people in that auditorium, all were India Against Corruption volunteers. They were brought in there to hoot us out. But when I put my arguments, when I presented the facts, the audience was with me. But then I asked the anchor in one of the seminars at IIC, is this a public debate? Is this how you have fair coverage of the events? And he had to apologize for that. I mean, it's not that media has not gone out of the way to highlight him or highlight his issues, but it is so unfortunate that this guy and his leadership only use and throw people, one after the other. There's a whole range of...
Prem Shukla. No, Prem Shukla, my question to you, he's the executive editor of Dopair Ka Samna, which is the Shiv Sena newspaper. Prem Shukla, sorry for coming to you late. Has the Shiv Sena learnt, by the way, I just want to go back to your example, because Shiv Sena used to show a lot of intolerance, right? You used to go into newsrooms, threaten journalists, do morchas, carry out some attacks. काफी experience है शिवसेना को इस तरह के इंटिमिडेशन का. तो मैं ये आपसे पूछना चाहूंगा कि क्या शिवसेना सुधर चुकी है? क्या शिवसेना सीख गई है इन सालों से कि उन्हें भी ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए?
नहीं, शिवसेना ही अकेले गई ऐसा नहीं है. अभी कुमार केतकर जी के यहाँ तो एनसीपी वाले चले गए थे, विनायक मेटे चले गए थे, लेकिन शिवसेना ने कभी कन्फ्रंट कई बार हुआ है. लेकिन इसमें जो मुद्दे की बात है, शिवसेना प्रमुख 2011 में जब इनका जन लोकपाल आंदोलन चला तो कह रहे थे गद्दाफीवाद है, और जिस तरह से आज अरविंद केजरीवाल ने बात की है, वो छिपे हुए गद्दाफी का वो चेहरा जो है बेनकाब हो रहा है कि आप हमसे या तो एग्री हो जाइए, अगर आप मुझसे डिसएग्री हो गए तो आपको जेल में भेज दूंगा. तो ये इनका गद्दाफीवाद है जो बेनकाब हो रहा है.
पर आप तो एक्सपर्ट है ना इस सब में,
लेकिन हमने कभी आपको ये नहीं कहा कि आप हमारे खिलाफ, शिवसेना के खिलाफ
पार्टी कई सालों से एक्सपर्ट है. आप तो ये तो अरविंद केजरीवाल तो कुछ कह रहे हैं, आप तो करते हैं, आप तो जाके अटैक करते हैं लोगों के घर अटैक करते हैं.
के खिलाफ
तो नहीं तो मैं आपसे पूछ रहा था कि आप लोग आजकल कम कर रहे हैं, इसका कारण क्या है? क्या आप लोग सीख चुके हैं कि देश बदल चुका है, लोग बदल चुके हैं?
नहीं, हमने
इस तरह का व्यवहार टॉलरेट नहीं होगा. कि आपको ऐसा लगा है कि इंटॉलरेंस जो पॉलिटिकल पार्टीज की होती है जैसे शिवसेना की थी, आज आप लोग कह रहे थोड़ी बहुत सुधर चुके हैं, क्या इसलिए सुधर चुके हैं क्योंकि आपको भी लग रहा है
नहीं
कि ऐसा करके आपको कुछ फायदा नहीं होगा? आप अपने बारे में बताइए प्लीज.
नहीं, हम शिवसेना की तरफ से बहुत मतलब 50 साल में 10 घटनाएं आप बता सकते हैं. मैं कांग्रेस की आपको 50 घटनाएं बता दूंगा। तो इस तरह की इंटॉलरेंस अकेले शिवसेना ने नहीं किया है, तमाम लोगों ने किया है। लेकिन जो इंटॉलरेंस दिखा रहे हैं केजरीवाल जी, वो तो एकदम नया इंटॉलरेंस है कि आप उसे एग्री होइए, डिसएग्री होइए, और डिसएग्री हुए तो आपको हम जेल में डाल देंगे। शिवसेना की तरफ से 50 साल में 5-10 घटनाएं हैं कुल मिला के।
नहीं, एक मिनट, मनीषा क्विकली, 4 minutes left। मनीषा,
इतना इंटॉलरेंट होना ही गलत है। मीडिया को अपनी आवाज रखने का एक हक है। मीडिया को आप देखिए कितना उनका नाजुक मामला है कि अपने भी खफा हमसे, बेगाने भी नाखुश हैं, क्योंकि उनको किसी भी कहानी का दोनों पक्ष बताना है। और उनको इसके लिए अगर अपने नागरिक सुरक्षा के अधिकारों से वंचित किया जाए और एक मुख्यमंत्री जो रह चुका है वो धमकाए कि हम आपको लॉकअप में डाल देंगे इसके लिए, तो लॉकअप शब्द लोकतंत्र का बिल्कुल विरोध है। कहीं ना कहीं तो मुझे लगता है कि आप सब जर्नलिस्ट कम विरोध कर रहे हैं।
संजय झा, when you're listening to this debate, what are the learnings? You know, what are your learnings out here? When you're listening to this debate, do you get a sense that now, at least, no, 1 minute, Raza ji, 1 minute, do you get a sense that even the Congress party, the BJP, all parties should now begin to actually realize that there is a new media in this country which will aggressively ask questions to every political party and every political player? That there is an emergence of a new, independent and very assertive media in this country which is here to stay. Sanjay, what do you think?
Well, Arnab, let me tell you that I come repeatedly on your channel despite all the the criticisms and the acrimonious discussions we may have had, because of the simple reason that my party believes that, end of day, when I come here, to me it's irrelevant who the anchor is, who the channel is. Frankly, it doesn't matter. I come here to defend my party, whether it's your program or somebody else's program. And I think all spokespersons of the Congress go to a channel chosen by the AICC. But the fundamental point is that, today I think the reason, I don't want to comment on what Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has said. I do believe that the majority of media knows its obligations and its responsibilities. But you do have to acknowledge...
No, but why don't you want to comment on what Arvind Kejriwal said about locking up journalists? Why don't
because
you
I don't agree with that. I don't agree that you should summarily make a statement saying that you'll put somebody to jail. But I think there is a fundamental point that I do want to bring to your attention. And that has got to do with the fact that there is a stink in your backyard, and I think the media needs to recognize that. I think if you don't, I think you're going to harm, everybody's going to harm their reputation. And there are 2 points I want to make here. Just let me make these 2 points. Number one, that while the media is in the job of giving public service and information, don't forget that you also have to make corporate profits, and sometimes there can be a conflict of interest between those 2 ends. The second point,
I'll tell you one thing, self-regulation, Sanjay Jha,
can be an oxymoron.
Sanjay Jha, just a minute please, first of all, I need to just tell you one clear thing. I don't like this shooting in the dark business, and I'm saying this to you very, 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 very candidly and very, very directly. And if you must listen to this, you must listen to this, because you know this, Mr. Sanjay Jha, I don't beat around the bush. So listen to me, Mr. Jha. Mr. Jha, listen to me, Mr. Jha. I'll tell you the ones who are trying to fleece the country, and those who are trying to take away our natural assets, fleece the country and rob it of its potential, are the scamsters behind the CWG scam. Those who are trying to fleece the country and make money and have Swiss bank accounts are the people who are in these 2G scam. The people who feature in other scams, they are the people who are in the Aircel Maxis scam, in the Devas ISRO scam. These are the people who are making money and doing profit. And Mr. Sanjay Jha, you can go and ask anyone here today that if there is a semblance of accountability, why politicians in this country are afraid of being exposed, it is because of the media. Mr. Sanjay Jha, please listen to me. You take the free and independent media away from this country, and this country will change forever. I don't think we want that change, Mr. Sanjay Jha, but if you have decided to provide covering fire to the Aam Aadmi Party, that's your choice. That's your choice.
Worldwide, Arnab,
that's your choice. That's also transparent tonight. Siddharth Singh, quickly, 2 minutes left.
Bottom line is politicians love us. Politicians love us when we say bad things about them. Politicians hate us when we say bad things about them.
Okay, Siddharth Singh.
I'm really surprised the way Sanjay Jha is covering up for Aam Aadmi Party or the Arvind Kejriwal statement. I don't think
your party is the one.
The Congress needs to cover up unless until the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party have a agreement, and Aam Aadmi Party has been used by Congress to attack BJP or to bring the numbers down. That's been their failed strategy, but that's been their strategy. Now, they must understand that, you know, the words don't make a difference, but you need to come out openly, Mr. Jha, and say what Arvind Kejriwal has said is absolutely, not agreeable, and you need to condemn it, because you cannot be saying to the fourth pillar that we'll put you behind the bars. It is something which is absolutely ridiculous.
Let me tell you, 1 minute.
You know, I do remember a few days back, Sanjay, few days back, there was a video footage where Arvind Kejriwal with a Hindi channel was trying to edit the interview.
Let us not waste our time in semantics, Mr. Satinath Singh. We know what Mr. Manohar Parrikar thinks of journalists.
You didn't even attack that day.
It was the most demeaning, the most contemptuous statement. And if I was Arnab Goswami, I would be holding a full program to take the BJP to task. How could you humiliate journalists by talking about
on the same channel with Times Now and Ashok?
The reason why I'm raising this point,
Arnab Goswami, you were a silent spectator.
I expected you to defend Siddharth Varatharajan's intimidation by right-wing fundamentalists. I expected you to fight for Anirudh.
Well, you know,
there are larger issues the media needs to address. Are you being stopped on certain elements that seem to be
you know, here's a BJP versus Congress debate that is now beginning to emerge.
So you
Raza,
agree
I give the final word to the
Kejriwal?
journalists here. I don't think there's any reason, of course, for the journalists here to explain. But what is your takeaway from this, Neerja?
You know, I'm very glad this discussion has happened.
Thank
I
you.
hope it will be a message to all those who are going to be elected in these elections. And the acid test for the government will be how it treats a critical media.
Absolutely. And I just want to say this at the end. To all our panelists. To all our panelists. Raza ji.
आपने मुझे कुछ बोलने नहीं दिया। थोड़ा सा मैंने बोला पहले, बाद में मैं आधे घंटे से 40 मिनट से यहाँ बैठा हूँ। मैं आपका पूरी तरह सुन रहा हूँ।
मैं आपकी बात सुन रहा हूँ।
कुछ भी बोलने नहीं जा रहा, कुछ भी नहीं। How much?
राजा जी, आपने काफी कुछ बोला, मगर एक बात याद रखिए।
Human rights violations, killings, 120 boys were killed in 2010. कितने ट्रांसपेरेंट थे आप उस टाइम? कितना आपने दिखाया? 4,000 people are missing in custody of security forces.
I give the last word to Shahid Siddiqui. Shahid Siddiqui, you've straddled both sides. You've straddled both sides, politics and media, and you keep straddling these both sides. Your final thoughts tonight.
Yes.
Shahid Siddiqui, your last
Arnab, last 66 years, every political party has tried to put media in its place. Every political party, when it has been questioned, has done this, but media has always fought back, whether during the emergency or during when Rajiv Gandhi wanted to bring a law to muzzle the media, or all the time. But let me say, in a democracy, it is only and only the media. A voter, Aam Aadmi votes only one day in 4 years and 364 days. He votes only for 1 day. And 4 years and 364 days, it is the media which questions the government. It is the media which works for the Aam Aadmi. It is the media which keeps democracy alive. And I am proud that I am part of this media. And even as a politician, I have never allowed the parties or the politicians to
absolutely, and I'm completely short of time. Completely short of time.
I'm proud to be a media person. I reject.
Vinod Mehta says to politicians, don't fight us, you will lose. And I just want 10 seconds, if I can, to just say something to the viewers tonight. Just 10 seconds, please. Please allow me, Mr. Raza. I'm not a politician, but I'm still not in handcuffs and I'm still not in jail, okay? The day I'm in jail, I can't speak. But let me say this tonight. The new media in India has been born. The new media is a young, assertive and independent media. The new media knows how to discriminate between right and wrong. And as Vinod Mehta says, and I second that, the new media does not need a certificate from any politician and knows how to stand up for itself. Let that message go to every single politician, political party or aspiring politician in this country today. Thank you very much for joining me on that debate on the Newshour tonight.